Call this meeting to order.
All right, Mayor Waterman,
Here.
Trustee Krogman. Here. Trustee Valier.
Here.
Trustee Cormadina is absent. Trustee Boggs is absent. Trustee Davis.
Here.
And Trustee Hickman is absent. We do have a majority. Yes. Okay, the clerk is here, the treasurer's here. You're welcome. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't know why we, Shawty does such a good job of writing. What I just get on that.
The minutes I have say November 7th.
That was the board meeting. Or no, it was December 5th. It was the thing I didn't change. I apologize.
So this needs to say December 5th instead of November 7th?
Yep.
We blow it out.
See, I can run in there real fast and.
Says fifth on the agenda.
December 5th.
Yeah, it does say December 5 on the agenda. It's the only thing I didn't change.
You're president,
Well, I just use the same template from month to month, so. I change everything. We don't have to change a few things.
Other than the date, I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
With that, the aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opposed? So motion is carried.
I wasn't here, so I really don't feel that I can vote. I don't see anything, but I do.
You can go on a meeting.
Huh?
You're not going on.
I understand that, but I don't. Can I ask, I have a question. Number 14, the state fire marshal is called out by an anonymous resident, blah, blah, blah. Has that all been, taken care of, everything's back to satisfaction with them? And have we gotten any reports back from them since he was supposed to come and take another look and get the drum had been removed? And
Well, what's gonna happen to Leo, I talked to him, and Leo was supposed to send him pictures.
He did.
Showing where it had been removed.
He did that.
He did that. With the police department.
Okay.
He was the rest of that for him. Sent pictures. Yeah.
So, everything's okay then. They're satisfied with that, and they're satisfied that there's nothing blocking the entrance to that.
So you abstain on that.
And I got one more question. Number 11, motion to accept bid from Josh Gallagher for $18 per bag to pour salt at intersections. And haven't seen anyone like that. Is that not happening now? Is he not salting? Are we not doing that? Or we're supposed to call him or?
He not called.
Okay. Well, we had some pretty heavy ice issues a couple weeks ago, and I saw
Well, he,
you
uh,
out there, so.
We saw it.
Slinking some
Yeah.
salt, yeah.
Salt, and
So.
I went to Henry County, or, Henry Township, and bought salt.
Uh-huh.
Josh sold it, I don't know how many times.
Did he did salt it?
Yeah.
Oh,
We must have had three quarters of inch ice.
So he'll be billing us for that?
We've got the bill.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. He tried
I
to-
said after
15
the all
below.
melted off.
In May, maybe? Okay.
And that motion was just to use him when he calls him. And it isn't a binding contract that we only can use.
Yeah, I see that says as in per phone call. Okay.
It was called 3 times, 4 times that day. Once he got called and he said, I'm not even home yet, I just left.
Well, I saw you. So he's gonna be basically at Gary's discretion with Gary Cosby, is when he decided that this is more than a plow camp, should solve Gary, that's all, these things come right out. Awesome, okay. I'm just catching up, I missed a couple of meetings, and I just feel like I'm out of the loop again, so.
Are you abstaining or are you voting?
I don't see anything, I'll go to accept these minutes, I don't see any reason not to. I was not
I
here,
just
but,
wanted to be sure.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I haven't had time to review the audio, but
That's fine.
if everybody else thinks they're fine, fine with me.
The motion and date is carried. We are on Wednesday.
Anybody have any questions on the financial or? Once again, for the telecommunications staff, $280 something,
They just
Three something.
send us whatever, huh?
421.
It's just gonna vary anywhere
Well,
from 1,000
well,
down
we
to
thought-
$22.
One of the things that we found out is that they pay out by when they're paid. And a lot of these companies pay in quarters, some
Sure.
employees, some pay out annually.
Sure.
So that's why it varies from month to month.
You took it down about
And they're just food paying the taxes. I'm gonna say it.
One thing we need to add on the bills to be paid for the month, we just got the AT&T bill yesterday, so that's $86.69. And as you see for the city of Cologne, I kind of want to point that out too. They found a discrepancy that in April, they never got paid, so it's too low. So I looked back and they were not paid, so we need to look that up.
Decker Supply, does that have to do all with the signs that we're gonna be replacing, is that, Decker Supplies for the 175?
That was,
For the
we
signs.
needed more of the spruce
To
to go
replace,
in.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we didn't have enough of those, so, yeah.
$40 to start.
So is Henry County going to send us a bill?
No. You can do it like you did before with Jim.
We'll get it eventually at the end.
You got to keep track. I know you have something to get. You need to know how much goes over right now. So you can do one of those figures. But I'm sure they'll see this, they're gonna be like that in the past.
Yeah.
And I have something, brought to my attention from, Trish over at Office Express. She just received this in the mail from the state of Illinois. Jim or Mike, can you tell us who collected unemployment on the village of Cleveland?
Who collected on the place?
It was when you guys were in office.
Good. So they're canceled. He would go around top. and
Ask
say,
who?
Ask
Rick
who?
might know.
Over.
When you say collected on the point of what you mean exactly? Did they receive money? Did they
Yes.
receive funds?
Somebody collected funds and somebody from the village approved for them to collect $552 worth of unemployment.
I don't think that happened.
Oh, it did.
I don't think that was possible to happen.
It
Well, that's
did.
a person.
They couldn't
What
take it
year?
from the village.
2012.
They couldn't have taken it from the village because we couldn't, we would have had it on the finance account, especially 2012.
No, they collected unemployment.
But nobody worked for the village that collected money. There were a couple times that the village received paperwork from somebody that was working at, say, let me use John Deere, for example, but somewhere else,
Right,
and then, got laid off there,
right.
but was affiliated with the village, and collected unemployment, not through the village.
They say, I just talked to somebody and they told me that a statement of benefit charges was mailed to the village of Cleveland in January.
I'm not aware of that, and I do remember a case where
They
somebody
can't,
that didn't work here, worked somewhere else. I don't remember if it's somebody, I actually one of the trustees or somebody, another job that they had, we would have received information that they were laid off, got notice of that. But the trustee only gets $30 a month, they don't see how they could collect $500 around the corner.
It had been somebody collected
So,
for
it's
$30.
either a mistake on the state.
What months or years did they collect the
you all have a copy.
Okay.
Bundle, it's stapled with the financial
Okay.
sharing. All right.
That would be my guess.
I don't know, I was trying to find out who it was, and how would anybody collect, but they said it doesn't matter if they were even part-time, they could collect it.
Not aware of anyone.
Anyways, it has now raised us from the lowest rate to the highest for 2 years now. The village is gonna pay for that.
Well, then I would suggest making some calls to the employment, Department of Employment, in the state where we get this one, so that there's a safety.
Because, well, they're saying that this was just mailed out December 2nd.
Chris just got this.
And the,
Yeah.
because the date to protest it for the village of Cleveland would have been by December 17th, and we've not received anything here in the village.
Chris just gave this to me the other day.
Yeah, that means, investigate a little bit.
No,
Well,
that
I
should-
called the 800 number back here.
Well,
He
it says
said-
their taxable wages were $9,013.50.
When first back here, that would have been the,
More
This is
person
for-
over $9,000
this is
in 20 years
for-
now.
This is for, April of 2012 is when it's from. I don't know, we better
I
investigate
guess we need to
this.
look up someone identity, look up all the things, because we never had to do it.
And I'm not aware of anything ever coming here to the, I never saw anything mailed from anybody that says anybody was collecting unemployment from the village.
I thought it was strange, but.
Yeah, it is, that needs to be checked into and find out why somebody's made a mistake, because nobody from here that I'm aware of collecting anything. As far as unemployment from the village.
And they are capable of making mistakes in those offices.
There's a number back here, and that's what I called when I talked to that guy today.
Yeah.
I just talked to him again today, and he just said something was mailed out in January to the village here, and that's it, so I don't know. No, January.
Last January.
Oh, well, 2013. This is 24.
Well, then, we'll have to request copies. We'll have to send copies.
I don't know, he don't know who, he acted like he didn't know who to get it from, so I don't know.
That's impossible. There's numbers on here, there's an account number on here.
Right.
It's traceable somehow. Very, very strange. And yeah, they make mistakes all the time.
nobody's actually laid off, they're just.
And there were 3 individuals that I know of that were laid off, that were on unemployment. And each of the notices says, not on you. You know, that
Well,
it's against their employer.
I know Keith Hammerling's son-in-law, Aaron, was laid off when he was mowing for you guys and then held the checks.
Yeah, okay, he got, yes, he.
And then you
he
guys
lost the check, but
Reimbursed him the checks back
yes, he
once
lost
he
the
went,
check.
was done with unemployment, but.
Like I said,
anyways.
the other 3 individuals that I'm aware of, the notice, we got a note sent that said, yes, they're claiming unemployment, no, it does not involve you.
But it had their name specific.
It had their name specifically, and, you know, and I'm
Yeah,
not
this
gonna
has
mention it,
nobody's
but it had their
name.
name specifically, but there was nothing ever sent to the village that ever said anything about unemployment being claimed on the village.
And just let it slide because like you said, it's taken us from the lowest contribution rate to the highest, which means we have one claim.
And it's gonna be at the highest for 2 years.
And that's gonna be, then they have to prove to us that this happened, because certainly you have, you know, people here do this kind of stuff. I mean, it hasn't come across you or we see it. It hasn't come across your desk, I'm sure, and it has come across ours, you or our desk.
No, I haven't seen anything come from, if I had. I
Mr.
would
Harris is
open
saying
it
that none
up
of this
and-
came across his
Trish
desk, and it is
Trish
odd that
was
there's
just
no.
as shocked also, so
Yeah.
I.
I would say somebody is pulling a fast one, and the unemployment department just fell for it and slipped it right through there. And it needs to be corrected, and whoever this person is, these people have to pay this back. If they receive this in error, or through deception, or just error, they still will have to pay it back.
You have the dispute page of that, Lisa?
You know, we have to dispute it.
Well, it says that there was an attached page that you could protest on. Is there, do you have that, or do they have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you send that in, case that I can see, they'll have to disclose who and what.
And, yeah, Trish just gave me this, Wednesday. And this is protest by December 17th.
Right, so then I get to
No,
see it. They
yeah.
mailed it on the
Why is she
second.
getting this? This is- Anyways,
Wow.
Well, other than that,
we'll see what we can do.
You didn't find where you didn't pay the lawn police?
They did not, no,
They did not get paid anything.
no, I went back looking at all of them.
But they're trying out the spot too, aren't they? Why did you pay $600 in April? You know about it by May 1.
Right.
So we need a motion to accept the rate report. I make the motion that we accept the December financial report as is.
second,
Second.
So let's say, I guess, with the exception, we're going to continue to investigate this.
Lisa, will you go ahead and get a roll call on that? Trustee Davis?
Yes.
Trustee Valiger?
Yes.
Trustee Krugman?
Yes.
Mayor Letterman?
yes.
So motion is carried.
Great, you have anything to report this
The
one?
only thing I received was the Jim White request for disconnection petition to de-annex. And I know you've got it down there on new business, but I don't know if everybody's aware of it or anything else. But basically, Jimmy's on the edge of the village. And truthfully, I believe that if we're going forward with the plan, but I don't think we're going to.
Except after discuss that now. We're voting about it already. Skip on down.
I don't see any point in discussing any of this evening when we have only half board here, and it says right on it that nothing can be pursued until 30 days after filing, so. I have to not believe, so I haven't seen the word this yet. Just reading the cover letter.
Just, table, yeah, we don't have enough people really.
Table. Excellent. Jim, you got anything you wanna say?
As far as I know, it's gotta be posted and everybody notified, people over 30 days in, so that'd be something that we can do as well.
We'll table that till next month.
Is there any specific reason you're choosing to de-annex?
They're all in.
Anybody have any old business?
What are we gonna do about the law books and everything that never got returned?
You want to, what do you think we should just do?
I'm like, we just gonna bring them back. Why they never got taken out of here. I hate for us to spend money to buy new ones when we have them. They were all under Mr. Erickson's watch. Mike, you know where they went?
Everything's been my possession back in the
I can just, I can't hear you, this is blowing right out here. What did you say about the law books?
I said, everything that was in my possession is back at the village hall.
Except the law books and your name plaques and that stuff. Now, I have an email from you, a dated email from you that says the law books are all checked out. But as soon as they are returned to me, I will contact you, then you can check them out, Ms. Griffin. And that never happened. So I have an email from you dated, and you say, we know where they're at and they are checked out. And I also have a second email from you that says that all these things, that you are the keeper, you're the gatekeeper, you're the keeper of all the records and all these things. So it's pretty much your responsibility to take care of those and to either contact me so I can check them out, or are they still checked out to the person who checked them out 2.5 years ago? But I think you're pretty accountable for those law books. By those dated emails that you sent me, you're accountable to where they were, and they never were talked about again after that. And they're not in this building, unless you've got them shoved up in a rafter somewhere.
That was, we found a lot of things in a lot of mysterious places.
Well, we have.
And what's finding that there's stuff somewhere this building? That's the game that we play with in these days.
Well, I suppose we could, come up with a price. Just call and see what it's gonna cost to replace everything that's missing. Come up with a dollar amount. If Mr. Erickson wants to pay it, can, like new ones. Or if he doesn't, we can put a lien on his property. Buy them up.
You have to sue. And you have to prevail in the suit. Put lien on state property, you have to have a judgment. You have to sue and get a judgment. And you have to win the suit before you get the judgment. So that's where you be. And you have to justify the
Cost.
whatever that you live in, and his responsibility and whatever, and you have to report to the attorney.
Or they could just mysteriously mysteriously show up on the front porch, that would be acceptable too. You just mysteriously reappear and be left on the front porch in a garbage bag so that they don't get wet. So somebody else can pick them up, bring them indoors.
Yeah, it sounds good, I guess we'll have to wait expensive to get to all this,
That'd be about like the salt spread, we could just seriously have that come back to town.
We know what the salt spread is.
How come it isn't in your town, we need it?
It will be
That
back
I
on the
don't-
tractor this weekend.
Hmm?
It'll be back on the tractor this weekend.
Really?
It's not missing and it's not being withheld. Why it's not being used yet, I don't know. Judy, but it's not mysteriously missing. It's not being withheld from being with its rightful owners of the Village of Cleveland. The Village of Cleveland owns it and knows where it's at.
All right, let's move on.
Yep, sounds like a plan to me.
Sure, you wanna take the next one, number 5?
I would be glad to. Unfortunately, Ms. Commodina is not here this evening to have this discussion with, but Ms. Commodina moved out of her home approximately 6 months ago. She's had her mail forwarded to a new residence approximately 3 to 4 months ago. And in the eyes of the statutes of the state of Illinois, that makes her no longer eligible to sit on this board. Once she claimed residency in a new town with a new address, she shouldn't be collecting a check from the Village of Cleveland, and she should not be on this board. She should have been honest and open about the move she made and probably put in an honorable resignation, but she's just kept quiet about it. And it is without a doubt that she has moved and that she no longer lives in the Village of Cleveland and has not for several months. By having her mail forwarded to a new address, she's taken up residency there and has basically relinquished her residency here. I looked up the statute on it. It's 65 ILCS 5/3.1-10-50, several different sections, but it says, events upon which an elective office becomes vacant in a municipality under 500,000 people. I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but it says abandonment and other causes. A vacancy occurs in the office by reason of abandonment of office, removal of office, or failure to qualify, or more than any temporary removal of residency from the municipality. She became more than temporary when she forwarded her mail and took up residency in another village, because she now lives in the Village of Kelowna. The removal of the trustee, as the case may be, can be done by the corporate authorities, have this authority to determine whether this vacancy under the subsection has occurred, and the office is deemed vacant as of the date of the determination for all purposes, including calculations of blah, blah, blah. It says that the board has the authority and the ability to either first ask her to resign, or secondly, we don't have to ask her to resign, we can vote her off of the board due to the fact that she has abandoned our municipality.
Well, since she isn't here tonight, nobody knows
And
why.
I did speak with the postmaster. She could only, without a FOIA request, she could only confirm for me that a forwarding has occurred and has occurred more than 90 days ago. Anything else I have to request through a FOIA request, and I'm not sure that I'll get much more than that, but I did put together today on my computer a FOIA request stating my purpose. I know where she lives, I don't need her address, we already know where it's at. All I need is confirmation of the exact date that she did forward her mail out, but it's been more than 90 days. And I will drop that FOIA request off to Postmaster Linda tomorrow, because that was as much information as she would felt comfortable giving me without a FOIA request. Appointment to fill the trustee vacancy must be made within 60 days after the vacancy. Qualified person has been forwarded to the corporate authorities. The corporate authorities shall act upon that appointment within another 30 days. The vacancy should be through the mayor. The mayor should make that request to the board, and then the board decides if that's an acceptable person to fill that, but
Since she
Ms.
isn't here-
Commodina should have been honest about this and let us know months ago that she ordered her mail out and she has taken up residency elsewhere, because I understand that she does still own property in the village. The utilities are still on her property being maintained to keep the house from freezing up, but she is not living in that house. It's obvious when you drive by, and it's obvious by the information that I've already acquired. So why she hasn't been honest about that, she's actually, I guess in my opinion, she's been receiving a paycheck from the village of Cleveland, and she shouldn't have been eligible to sit on the board at least 3 months ago, at the minimum, 3 months ago. So I would say that,
This is obvious, something needs to be brought up, but she needs to be,
Right, that's what
she
I was
needs to
gonna
be
say.
present.
I
to-
agree.
We should table it until.
well, I don't think so. I think she should be sent a letter and let her know.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. What I'm saying though is, that without her present, not answering questions,
understand
saying that it's a temporary situation because her house, I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
not temporary. In the eyes of
I'm not arguing case. I'm
I
saying
understand.
she's got a right to defend what
Mhm.
you're saying without her
I
being
agree.
here. I don't think we can take any action on it. The points you've made seem to be very, very important,
Mhm.
and, but she should be allowed to address them.
She
And
should.
guess what I'm saying? If you're asking the clerk to send her a letter telling her that this is an issue that needs to be addressed and that would like to bring it up, or we're gonna put it on the agenda for the next meeting or
Yeah,
something like that,
absolutely.
I think that's the appropriate
And
action at this
And
time.
that's exactly the path that I was getting on, is that obviously she's not here tonight, but due to the fact that she's either had or is having a baby any time now, she probably doesn't have many intentions of sitting on the board. I wouldn't if I had a brand new baby. So we don't know if she's gonna come next month or the next month or the next month. So my suggestion would be that we send her a letter now, asking her to answer to these questions of her abandoning her
Residency,
residency here, and ask her if she would choose to just quickly resign and we can move on with this board, or if we have to go to other measures, because all those remedies are available to us.
She should know that if she's gonna tender, and I don't know what she's gonna, but if she's gonna tender resignation, it must be notarized.
Yep, it has to be in writing, it has to be notarized.
Okay. I just think
Yep.
that should be added, if she intends to. I don't know what she's gonna do.
Right.
And you may find that it's just a little bit more detailed than that too. We had a situation like this, back in 2007, I believe. Where a person had lived in town for 7 months, and just a discussion of it, but some people claiming that he could be on the board and continue to be a member and a voting member of the board. And some people claiming that he couldn't be a voting member of the board. Ended up in a wrestling match out on the porch with Steve and Rick wrestling with each other, and so it'd be better if you didn't do it without having to get in a wrestling match, but that's just that.
No, we don't decide to do any wrestling matches at all.
I think it should be a polite
But
letter,
it
the
just
whole nine
means-
yards.
I mean, obviously she's been moved out for a very long time, early summer, but when she chose to forward her mail out, that's giving up her residency, and she should have let us know that at that time. You know, I'm relinquishing my residency here right now, moving in with my boyfriend, my baby daddy, whatever it is, and resign from the board.
Jerry, you wanna make a motion to write that letter?
Yes, I would like to make a motion that the clerk prepares a letter and has that sent to Ms. Palmadino, requesting her explanation and asking her if she wants to do a resignation, or
Okay, well,
that it will be brought up that it will be brought back to the table at the February meeting. Very simple.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and none is opposed, and the motion is carried.
Okay. We tabled Jimmy's disconnect, so the next item was, that was Alicia, huh?
Oh, I asked them to send me some stuff back at the beginning of December, and they sent it certified mail. Of course, I wasn't here to sign for it, and, it didn't show up till the 19th, the letter. And then the following weekend, I was unable to make it to the post office, and then, of course, I was out of town last weekend, so it got sent back.
Well, actually, I went to retrieve that. Shauna called me, and I came and picked up the slip, and I went to retrieve it, and the postmaster apologized to me, but our carrier sent it back early. They're supposed to hold us for 15 days.
Oh,
They did not hold it for the full
No,
15 days.
no,
On the day that I
because-
was there, it would have been only our 10th
it
business
didn't show
day.
up here, the notice didn't show up until the
Yeah.
19th.
So it got sent back early.
Okay, we'll
But at
bring it
any rate,
back
we
up
can't
next
really-
month then, huh?
At any rate, we don't have those materials today because they,
Yeah, no.
MediaCom has to resend it. And why they're sending it certified is
I
beyond me.
asked him to just send it via
There's no
email,
reason for them to have sent it certified. It's not a
Just because it would always be
Document
on the
needs-
net, you know, when I needed to retrieve it, so. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing from you next month then.
I know, it feels like such a faux pas, you know.
Okay. Been asked by a couple people why we can't plow the driveways of some of our elderly. And I told them, well, I'll put it up to the board, and let the board do what they say, and then, no matter what we say, we still have to get a reply from, risk management, and see what they say. I know other villages do not bring municipal vehicles on personal property to do that, but this being a small village, it might be feasible. Where we draw the line at, who's eligible, who isn't, that'd be another thing that would be a big,
That'd be a policy at CDC.
yeah, I don't know how you, I'm gonna let you guys discuss it. I'm throwing this out there to you guys.
Risk management's gonna tell you don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are.
No,
I mean, if
Absolutely.
you wanna take it to there, that'll end your question right there, if that's a stumbling block on it.
They're gonna tell you not to do it because if you
Yeah.
plow their driveway and they slip and fall and bust a hip anyway, then the village is liable because the village is the one that didn't clear their driveway good enough. And in the
And you got
litigious
the other-
society we live in, it's a shame that we can't do that as a small village we're in.
Okay. And I'll give you another argument that, again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does happen in some communities, but the point is, technically, you will be spending municipal funds privately to avenge one person. Technically, that's not legal. I'm not saying people don't do it, because it does happen, but those are some of your basic reasons why it probably won't be done.
We're gonna drop discussion on that, take it any further.
I've got one question about it, in regards to the plowing private residence or not. I was kind of wondering why everybody's mailbox is getting cleared except mine. Got sides back there still a little upset because, for whatever reason over the last 4 years, but everybody's road gets cleared off the village's road, the village's property, except the west end of Jackson Street. Don't seem to be any snow service down there. I called you up and left a message with your wife, had you asked if he might come down there and, if he wants to block the lane in, that's fine. At least clear the mailbox out. We didn't get mail service. Had to go over to the post office to get mail service. I didn't get any response back from you on it, so.
Your mailbox isn't out here at the corner
Our
of
mailbox is down
Jackson
there,
and,
109 Jackson Street.
I mean, but your mailbox isn't
It's
set up
on
at the
Jackson
corner?
Street.
So Jackson Street's not getting plowed
Jackson
from your
Street
mailbox up
is-
to your lane, is what you're
belongs
saying?
By the village, yes. You can look at a map on there. You'll
I
see where it
know
is,
that,
Jackson.
what I'm asking is, I haven't been down there, I would all drive down there, but you're saying that Jackson Street, from your mailbox to your lane, that part of Jackson Street has not been plowed?
Correct. Not even the mailbox.
Well, we'll have to check into that, because it should be.
It should be.
I dug my own mailbox out, my approach and I went out there with a shovel and dug it all out so she could swing in there and drop the mail in, because my mailbox does sit back in the road, I do my own.
But, citizens don't have to do that. Garrett, you got any reason?
Check it.
I plowed it like I've always plowed it, Jim. You around that corner, I don't go down your lane at all. If your mailbox is there, you should move it up to Jackson Street.
My lane doesn't start to the telephone pole 150 feet back from the mailbox.
Well,
You go over there and look at the map and see where Jackson Street
maybe
is.
you need,
That'd be like you stopping down here on Broadway Street, not going down and doing Leo's. That's Jackson Street all the way to the end of Jackson Street. The west end is Jackson Street all the way to the end of Cleveland's Jackson Street.
Well, like I said,
Do you need to spray
when I
paint
was a
something on
trustee,
the
that's the way I
snow so we
plowed
know
it.
how far that
No, we
border
already split anything, we
is?
just need to get something through the plow.
Oh, well, I
and
don't
check.
know where the border is
Yeah.
personally,
He knows where-
exactly.
He knows where it is. So Mary, you're gonna see to it that the mailbox gets cleaned out?
I'm not gonna see
It's
your
not,
mailbox.
it's not up to us. to
No,
do
that's
your
not up to us to
mailbox.
clean your mailbox. I have to clean my own mailbox.
Yeah, me too.
It's
The
not up to us
road.
to clean your mailbox.
The
We will
road in
plow.
front of my mailbox.
We'll plow
The
around
road
the
is
corner,
66
stuff, yeah,
feet
but I'm
wide.
not, we're not
No,
gonna
you
clean.
don't have to show in front of the mailbox.
No,
Just clear it out so the mail lady can get in there and get, drop mail off.
that's your
Yeah.
responsibility.
No, it's not my responsibility to clean off Jackson Street.
Well, no, not Jackson Street, but if,
I think you're doing a fine job,
I
Gary.
think he sucks.
It's Jackson Street that ain't getting cleaned.
Yeah, it's Jackson Street, it's
Well,
not my
we've had some-
mailbox, but I pick up my mail on Jackson Street. Okay, you think it's funny?
No, you're saying Jackson
It's not real
Street's not
fun.
getting
I don't-
plowed at all, where your
Well,
mailbox
it's-
is located, none of that's
It's
plowed.
not when the mail lady gets
We'll
stuck
have to
on
check
these
it.
roads.
Nope, and she
trying
was
to
stuck on
deliver
the
mail.
ice several times. I
And
pushed
she
her
was
myself from my
calling me,
mailbox.
and
I
she
got
says,
another,
"Have
see,
Chad
another
ship it
trustee
out."
over here that went down and saw the
So-
situation, I called him up, he went
It's not
down
funny.
and put some ice out. He knows where Jackson Street ends. I don't know if you wanna say anything or not, Brian.
It was pretty ice covered, but it was during.
Everything was icy. We had some
Yeah.
extreme
Yes.
weather and some
Right.
extreme conditions, so.
Yeah,
But-
the lady got
Got
stuck
stuck
on
on
my-
Maple Street
I think
too.
what his, I know, but I
She
think
was
what
just
his
stuck on
words
the
were
road in front
that
of my mailbox spinning.
everybody should get the same
Couldn't
service.
get- And I,
Couldn't
it's
get
flat.
it.
There's no discrimination going on.
Okay,
No
so
discrimination.
is your mail being delivered now? Is it sufficient now?
Yeah, they
As of
delivered
today?
it, yeah. But the road still isn't clear. And I just want the same treatment everybody else gets. That's all.
We'll have to
I don't want
check it
anything
out,
special.
Joe. No, if Jackson, wherever Jackson Street ends technically for the village is how far the snow should get pushed off.
Well, technically, you can't get that far, so.
Well, technically, I'll show you then if you wanna
West.
look, see where the end of Jackson Street is.
Sure.
I'll show you on the map and then we go down there and take a look at it, maybe.
Well, you can show me. That'll
Yeah.
probably be sufficient.
That's
I've
fine.
just not, I've never quite known how far that, where does Jackson stop and where does your first private lane begin? I know it's into.
I don't know, but if you go too far, you'll get arrested for trespassing.
Yeah.
We're only plowing
You don't
around
have
the
to worry
curve.
about that.
All right,
So
well,
What else is
Sorry.
on here?
Sorry.
Well, wait a minute. We
What?
did everything.
Well, some get it out of mailboxes, can they?
We got this one here too. What is this? Is that my mailbox from last
Snow
month?
in front of it.
Oh, no, I put that in there because we were talking
We were
about
looking
that.
at fuel barrels.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
last
so it is
month.
from last month.
fireproof containers.
So, that was just an example of what I found was why I was looking
You
online.
can
Did we decide anything?
No.
Yeah, if you look at the cheapest one, it's right on the top there,
Yeah,
$866 for a fireproof container, put a 55-gallon drum in.
nice.
I don't think we're gonna be buying one of them.
Not,
We
not
did.
anytime soon,
No, we'll just transport a couple 5-gallon
huh? Yeah.
catch cans and
Well, I guess the village got away with having that drum there for a long, long time that wasn't suitable, and if it's a hazard, it's a hazard, and it needed to go.
Yep.
But replacement of it isn't crucial at this time, right?
But, you have to use the tractor, I'm gonna get the spreader on the tractor this weekend. And if we have to use the tractor, it's full of diesel right now, the way this winter's going, don't know how many times you might have to use it, this isn't a bad winter.
Mm,
We better get some coveralls.
Well, what I was gonna put in front of the board here, is we might wanna buy a couple 5-gallon diesel cans, plastic cans,
How many do we have?
we don't have any.
Okay.
We've got some of them old cherry cans out there, but, we're not gonna use them on our Marshall. Day.
So
We're not gonna use
the
them at
good
all.
plastic 5-gallon diesel cans at Farm and Fleet are $8 a piece,
I don't
but
know,
they're on
not
sale, I
really.
think. Well, they're probably 12 then. I think I just bought one this summer. I think it was $8.99, but they were on sale. I think that is something that we do need, so.
Okay, and then, the next problem is, where are we gonna store them at?
Yeah, that's the
Once,
problem. You can't keep-
even once you put fuel, even once you take fuel out of them, the fire marshal does not want them stored in there.
Okay.
So.
And
where we
diesel
gonna-
gets gummy when it gets cold, right?
Yeah, that's.
They'll
what-
gel
This
up.
kind of weather.
Well, everything's gelling up.
Is that not a fireproof cabinet that's in the hall? Or the garage?
Well, if it was, I wouldn't think you'd have been worried about them jerry cans in it.
It's 3/8 of an inch thick metal cabinet. It's not a paper logger. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You would have thought if it was, he would have said so. You need to-
See if there's a name or something
Tracking
on
stuff
it
right
somewhere
now,
that.
sorry, we're filling it.
We'll just send one out of that barrel.
So now we don't have any. Well,
I can talk to the fuel guy and we'll just, there might be a little surcharge, we can have him come down when that tractor gets about to a quarter and
Is
throw
that
30,
commercial?
40 gallon in.
We don't take that much in it. How much is that?
I imagine it's
probably
30 gallon.
30,
tank.
probably.
So we get
My
that
little garden
quarter, so
tractor's
we get that
12.
quarter, it'll take 20 maybe. They could make that kind of trip for 20 gallons.
Well, I can, if we're getting close, he does a lot of people in this area. He'll come down, and like I said, there might be a little bit of a surcharge, but that's,
Temporary situation.
yeah,
too.
that's all we got. You can't go buy cans and carry it. 'Cause
Yeah,
like
it's
you
just
said,
be a real inconvenience, because to fill that thing, then you have to make at least a couple trips. with
well,
two
then what are you
gallon
gonna do with
cans.
cans?
Yeah, then where are you gonna store the cans at?
Right.
They make smaller cabinets.
Yeah, they make small cabinets.
As
just-
they
just
get
to find-
smaller, the price
We
goes
buy
down.
22-gallon cans, 22-gallon cans. Well, obviously, we need at least a temporary solution to the problem now, so I
Well,
think that that would be the best thing.
It's
to-
completely full right now. We fill that thing completely full,
Okay.
and we even filled the mower completely full, even though we're trading it in next spring. It's completely full. I don't think you can get any more in them.
And the
Yeah,
plow
to get-
truck, we just take to BJ's or wherever and have it filled and do we have an account with them, or do you just get a receipt and reimbursed, or
I
how are we?
just filled that up today.
Filled it up today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you didn't charge, well, you,
Hmm?
We have a
how did you
charge.
do that? Did you
We have
just
a
check
charge.
with something?
There's a charge account at BJ's, apparently,
Oh,
Steve
okay.
told me that they'll fill it up.
So you're gonna talk to someone you know that does on-site diesel?
Same guy's been doing it.
Okay, well, I think that,
Yeah, that
I'm
might
in
be-
favor of that.
Yeah, I am too, if he'll do it for you.
I mean, just try to give him a heads up and maybe if he's
Then we
gonna be in
can-
the area anyway, at any certain day.
Next
Kinda like
summer
my
when we're
LP
back
guy, we
to,
watch the LP and then he calls me when he's gonna be in the area and I let him know how many gallons I want.
Yeah, next summer when we're back to mowing and you need it, on a more regular basis, then we'll have to try to figure out
Well,
something
let's
at
start,
that time.
well, that gives us some time to
about
explore
it.
all the options. Well, and I would just like to, getting back just real quick to the elderly and the plowing and so on, I would just like to personally thank you, Mayor Waterman, for helping out with my driveway and the icy conditions I had last week. And saw you out there on your little, on your personal equipment, doing some others and helping out Natalie Masuing. I know she greatly appreciates it, and she was stuck in that mess. So I just want to say thank you so much for that,
My pleasure.
probably had it pretty much under control, but it was nice to get that last big load off, so I would've been shoveling for another
Here's the-
30 minutes.
Yeah, yours is a small driveway, so it's easy.
Yeah, and I'm pretty lucky because when the county or whoever they are comes down, they kind of sweep that corner and back up that corner, and the salt usually strays all the way back to my mailbox, so I really don't have too much problem getting. Although the mail lady did, she got stuck between my driveway and my mailbox when she slowed down to approach my mailbox, and then she just started spinning, so I pushed her, got her going. She kept on down the road, so I guess we got it under control, but I think this is gonna be one of those winters we're gonna have to contend with ice
All year,
a couple more times.
yeah. Yeah, it's looking like.
So-
Any other comments from, anybody? All right. Steve?
Motion to adjourn.
I
That's
second
all I
it.
had to hear. Second?
I second it.
For John. Okay, third, fourth.
You're all in favor, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't say right.